Happy Friday, everybody. We are now live for our Facts and Snacks episode of the week. And today we have our first guest, our very special guest, Nodgela Thompson.
Hi, guys.
So Nodgela will be here with us today, and she's going to talk about building a community around your business and how to make meaningful connections. So through email list building and Facebook groups and all of that good stuff. So I don't have anything to really start with other than that. So we're going to dive in. So Nodgela, thank you so much for being here with us today. It is such a pleasure.
Thanks so much for having me, Jasmine. I'm so excited to be your guest, and I'm so proud of you that you've got this platform, and I am just ready to share.
Awesome, awesome. So yeah, so tell us more about you and your business and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I will. I will. So I'm Nodgela Thompson again, and I am a certified lifestyle business mentor and coach. I have a community here on Facebook called the Live Your Biz Community, and I teach there entrepreneurs, I like to say dreamers, visionaries, and creatives, the people who I'm called to. I teach them how to connect with the people that are going to give them the meaningful relationships they need to build a business with ease. I teach them how to build their brand, how to embody their brand, and how to take all that interaction and build something that affords them a profitable lifestyle for them and their families.
Oh, that is awesome. I hope you guys are taking notes on this and go find it's called Live Your Biz. Go
Live your
find that on Facebook. Yeah, that's amazing. Okay. So with that, Nodula, what are some tips that you can give people before I guess we dive into our topic on like if they're wanting to start a business and they're kind of stuck and they don't really know what to do or what direction to go?
Let me tell you, good bit about that, Jasmine, because I have been an entrepreneur now for about 19 years that I've worked for myself. I'm a serial entrepreneur. So with my husband and my two younger daughters who are 21 and 23 years old, we own four businesses together. And so it's my lifeblood, but there was a time when I still had the vision and I still had this same drive and this same burn for entrepreneurship, but I didn't have the confidence and I didn't have the faith and I didn't have the trust in myself to take the plunge and make the leap. And so I actually had a real life vision of what it would look like for me to become a real estate agent. I'm a real estate broker by trade. And so for 10 years, I sat on a dream. Talk about a dream deferred. I honestly, for 10 years, sat on a dream. For 10 years, every January, I would say, this is the year I'm going to open that real estate brokerage. This is the year I'm going to get licensed, and would talk myself out of it. I was a corporate salesperson and working in corporate America, business to business sales, making great money, had, traveling the world. I was a mother of three young children at the time. I had everything that looked like the white picket fence type of lifestyle, becoming a new homeowner and all those things all at once. And then, tragically enough, I suffered the loss of my mom to cancer. And I will tell you, at the moment that that journey began, which was short for us, was a 90-day span of her getting diagnosed to her death, it revolutionized, it changed my why so very much. It changed it from being six-figure income, multiple cars, traveling. It changed my definition of success. And so my advice to anyone who is sitting on a dream or who is self-doubting or just you're stuck because you don't have that confidence, I would say think to yourself, the gift that you know you have on the inside and the talents that you know you've been divinely made with, they are for a specific body of people out in the world more than they are for you. They're for you to enjoy and they're for you to build a lifestyle off of. But more than that and bigger than that, they're for you to serve out of. And so if you can't have enough strength and faith and confidence in yourself, think of the people who will be disserved or never served because you're sitting on your gift. So just get out there, be comfortable, be confident. I had to realize that I've got some pretty quirky ways, but I had to realize that every single thing about me is on purpose, and it's such a fit for the people that I serve.
That is awesome. Do you guys hear that? Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Because it's, there's a lot of people and they just think they may be the only person going through that time in their life and they're not. And that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
You're not alone. I want to tell you that you're not alone. I have taught and I teach hundreds of entrepreneurs, and I've never met one who didn't have that period of time, that season, or that moment, even if it's just for a moment, where you thought, maybe I shouldn't do this. Do I have enough, strength to do this? Is there a place for me out in the world? And, people say things like oversaturated markets and competition, but I believe in a divine right client. And when you're in your purpose on that level, then there's no one else that can serve your client. They're just waiting until you show up.
Oh my gosh, that is so amazing. Oh my gosh, that is great information, guys. For those of you that are watching, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. Nodgela has a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience, so this would be the time to ask. So that's awesome. Okay, oh my gosh, I'm blown away. But all right, so moving on. So on to our topics for the day. So Nodgela, when someone wants to grow their business, and what would you say would be the first step for that entrepreneur, that small business owner to start growing their community on Facebook? A lot of people have interest in it, but they just don't know where to start. So,
okay. So if you want to grow a community on Facebook, and I'll be honest, mentoring and coaching for me was a hobby that I did in my local community. And so just recently, this year, did I decide, you know what, I'm going to take this platform and make it bigger because I have a vision of reaching millions and teaching millions. And so I made that commitment to come on live, build a private group, private community to teach. And so I started from scratch at this in March of this year. And yeah, I've learned though. I had to like get in and get
yeah.
quick about it, learn to get in where you fit in. But the number one thing I would say is show up. And I teach a system called show up, step up, and glow up. And
Okay.
by that, I mean, you have to decide, number one, that you are an authority at what you do. You have to,
Mhm.
even if you're not perceived as an authority online, but you have been in your regular life offline.
Right.
You have to be
Mhm.
confident in the fact that you have authority, you are an authority, that again, there are people who desperately need your message. Your story is important, it deserves to be told. And just you have to be relentless about making connections and being seen and being heard.
Yeah. Okay. That's good stuff. So, could you expand on that a little bit more?
Sure.
Um, for the entrepreneurs that are like, what does that mean? Stepping up, showing up, glow up. So can you kind of dive a little bit more into that?
Absolutely. When I say step up, I mean you have to first of all be prepared to be before your client. You have to. This is kind of like coming on to this online space and building a community here. Is kind of like a courtship. I call it the client courtship. And so it's kind of like dating. You know how it is when like you want to date somebody, or well, let me put it in these terms. Somebody wants to date you, and
Yeah.
you may know of them or you may not, but then they show up on the radar. And so now, whoa, they've gotten your attention. And so you're watching them and you're watching them. So when I say show up and step up, I mean make yourself visible. Joining other people's Facebook communities and groups is number one. That's key. Joining in, because what people who want to follow you want to know that you're there to bring value. Okay.
Yeah.
So, they don't know you yet. So it's not that they just love you and want to hang out with you and they've got extra time to burn. So they want to give it to you. They're going to flock to you if they feel that you're going to impart value. So my system for that is give, give, give. I call it free plus free plus free equals fee. Don't ask people to buy. Don't show up and say, buy from me. Look at what I've got. Take part in this. Show up and say, what can I do to help you? How can I make your journey easier? How can I shed some light on your problems? What are your pains? How can I make them less? And the more you do that in social media, in these groups, in masterminds, to people who reach back out to you, the easier it will be to launch and build a community. And you can do it pretty quickly. You can do it pretty
Yeah.
quickly.
I like that a lot. I always talk about, and probably in every Facts and Snacks episode, it's networking, and you hit it on the nose. It's so important to build those relationships because you never know where that relationship will take you, whether you guys partner together and work together or not in the future. Like you said, sharing resources, creating value for one another,
Yeah.
having a support system. So that's so true. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah.
And it's about value because let's be honest, if you're new to the space, then there's a lot that you need to learn also. And so
Yes.
that exchange, can enhance you, it can prepare you, it can solidify you as an authority at what it is that you do, and it can bring immediate credibility to you. People want to know that you're going to stick with them, that you're not just trying to build your own group, that you actually are a person who's about serving others. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is awesome. And also, I would, add to that, just not necessarily just in your industry, you want to have a vast, you want to connect with everybody. You
Yeah.
just never know. You just never know. And what if that's the next market you would like to tap into? There you go. You have a resource, so that's important. So that's awesome.
Absolutely. The beauty
Yep.
about this online space is it's not like a brick and mortar. It's not like if you had a sandwich shop and I had a dress shop that we were so stuck in our own boxes. With this,
Exactly.
in this space, you learn at a much more rapid pace. Information is available so,
Yeah.
in so much of a commodity that you can move around a whole lot more. So you're right. It doesn't have to be industry specific. You just want to be the person that other people know she's about connecting, she's about bringing value.
Exactly. That's awesome. Guys, if you have any questions on that, feel free to leave a comment for Nodgela so that she can answer it. And we do have one comment from Julie, and she says, "Hi, ladies." And I responded and I said, "Hello to you too, Julie. We hope that you're enjoying. And again, if you have any questions, just go ahead and leave a comment for us. So if you guys have any questions with the Facebook, that's really important. Shoot us a message. Head over, to Nodgela's page and shoot her a message. She's, like we said, she's very knowledgeable and experienced, and she would love to help you guys. So we're gonna kind of shift gears, and we're gonna kind of move into building your email list. This is something that you have seasoned business owners that still struggle with this, guys, and then you have your newer entrepreneurs and your startups that are like, what is this? How can I do this? What are the steps? So Nodgela, what would you say are some great starting points for, people that are wanting to start to build their email list? What does that look like?
Building your email list, this is a funny one to me because I share this story all the time. It's the honest truth. But I remember being probably 25, 26 years ago, being a rather new salesperson and going into a mentorship program with someone who still all this time is my greatest mentor in my life. He's now mentoring my children. But
No,
one of the things that he shared with me, actually, it was a challenge because I was kind of feeling myself. I just started in this medical sales arena and was doing great, winning awards as a rookie, developing a great client base. And he faced me one day with a challenge question, which was, how many people do you have on your email list? And I remember going, email list, what? I
yeah.
had at the time a Franklin Covey planner, and it was like laden with business cards. And so that was my answer was, I forgot how many hundreds of business cards. And he pretty much squared me in the face and said, yeah, but baby, if you don't have a list, you don't have a business. And so I was fortunate enough many, many years ago to learn that valuable lesson. And what it did for me, it fortified the understanding of how much of a corner piece list building is to any type of business. any type of industry that you're
Yes.
in. It doesn't matter if it's a product or service, whatever it is. List building is important. In fact, it should start. It's the primary thing. And so, just as starting your Facebook community, it's about connections.
Yes.
The list building thing is the same thing. It's just about when you meet someone, having some place where you can deposit the fact that you met them and have a future way to contact them. And that is email management systems. And so, you want to start out, it doesn't matter, they're free still these days. So, this is an opportune time for people to build lists because MailChimp has a free option. Active
Yes.
Campaign, just all the leading email management systems have a free place for you to take the contacts that you make online, the business cards that you have in your bottom of your purse or wherever you keep them, as well as the digital cards that you have. Transfer those contacts to a database in an email management software and system. So that's
Yes.
step number one.
Okay. Okay. Oh, that's some powerful information, guys. Thank you for sharing that story as well, because it's like I said, it's something that it people don't really understand how important it is to build your list, to have that opt-in, to have that freebie. And they
Yes.
don't really understand what the opt-in or freebie necessarily is, or some options that they can do for that.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some ways that some best practices for people to come up with opt-ins and freebies for people to, to subscribe to their list?
Okay, so opt-ins and freebies are easy. What is valuable in your wheelhouse? And when I say that, if you've got a program or you've got a subject that you are passionate about, or you've got a product that you love, or a stack of things that you offer, what's valuable in that group of offering? You take what's valuable and you make a free version of that to the public, to the people that you want to be your audience, and to the clients that you wish to attract. More than anything, Jasmine, this is what I see that hurts people or hinders the amount of people that you can have opting into your service or whatever it is that you do. People tend to have like a garage sale mentality about opt-ins. They're looking for something that is cheap, something that is chinchy, or something that is of little value, and they're thinking this is gonna draw a quality lead. But I'm a fisherwoman, so it's kind of like fishing. My elder fisher people in the family, I would always want to like break the worm in half, and try and make it last. And they would say, you're gonna always catch little fish because you're putting little bait. You need big bait for big fish. So that's the same with your opt-in. Remember, your opt-in
I
is
like
something.
that.
Yeah, your
Yes.
opt-in is something that causes people to choose you as their option. People think of an opt-in and they start thinking so much technicality and so many technical things, but it's just simply something that would motivate someone to choose you as their option. And so think of something that means something to you, so that when you're offering it for free, you've got big bait out there.
Yeah, I love that analogy. I love fishing. Me and my husband go fishing all the time,
Oh,
and
I love it. My favorite
great
pastime.
analogy. That is amazing. Yeah, yeah. Love fishing. Just we get I don't even know the names. He's more into it than I am, but I just like going out there kicking my feet up and having a good
Yeah,
time.
yeah, I love it. I don't eat fish, but I love fishing, and that's my absolute favorite pastime.
That is awesome. Well, guys, there you go. I mean, I hope that a lot of this is making sense. Nodgela is really, really breaking it down, and she brought a great analogy to the table. Even if you don't know anything about fishing, it still makes sense. So that is awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Did you have anything else as far as the email list building that you wanted to share with our audience?
Yeah, I did. I wanted to. Another thing that I think can be a hindrance and a downfall is people think that, okay, I'm going to have this email list and now I've got to become a published author in my emails. And that's something that scares people away from building their email list. I am no author. You don't have to become an Amazon bestseller to write letters to your email list. You just have to be yourself. You have to be
Yes.
authentic. And remember, you're gathering this list and you're building this as a reference point for you to connect with the people that you've chosen. That's another thing. Choose who you want to be on that list. Don't start just dumping anyone on your email list. You want people who are going to truly identify with you so that when you are writing them letters, they're excited when they see you in their inbox, because they know that something that you're going to say is going to resonate deeply with them. So be authentic, is what I would want to say.
Yes, that's very true, guys. Don't come out and be somebody that you're not. Be yourself. That, that is what attracts your audience, is because you're
Yes.
you and your business is unique to you. And I mean, it's, yes, that's so important. That's
Yes.
very
And
important.
even when you're letter writing to them, you got to realize you're building this client courtship. And so you're going to talk to them in the email, you're going to be talking to them live, you may be working with them one on one. And so you want congruency in every way that you communicate with them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, there you go, guys. I mean, those are some great tips for those of you, like we said, that are trying to build email lists, or they want more information about it, or for even those of you that are seasoned and need a refresher. Just remember that it's important, and like Nodgela said, be authentic, and make sure that you throw a big old piece of bait out there, and that is a great value so that you can build the list
But there
that.
you go, guys. I mean, those are some. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, no problem. All right, well, that is awesome. So along with that, Nodgela, I always like to throw in a question. How do you find inspiration to keep going in your business? It's hard, it's challenging. Entrepreneurs, small business owners, it's very, very tough. So how do you find inspiration to keep going when you lost a few clients and you have yet to find new clients to cover the clients you lost, or things like that?
Yeah, it happens. I've been a realtor, like I said, a real estate broker for right at 18 years. And so I went through probably the toughest time that I can think of, in owning many businesses and having tons of business ventures, which was the real estate bubble, the crash of the real estate market. And so when I think about how do you stay motivated, one of the things that I think most entrepreneurs have on their heart when they decide to pursue a business and create something that's never been done and make a living at it for them and their families, I think that we have a deep sense of legacy. And so when those times come, think about your legacy. Think about when you're no longer here, what you want people to remember of the fact that you started this thing, that you had the gall to go out and do what it is that you did in your business. And so for me, it's legacy all day. Those times when I feel defeated, or I'm going through a downturn, or something catastrophic like the turn in the real estate market. I had now two daughters, like I said, who are entrepreneurs themselves. They own their own businesses, have since they were 18 years old. I have them looking at me. And so that's kind of the push in my back to keep going, because this is about legacy. It's not just about what you're going to do, it's about the memory of what you did and who you were while you were doing
Oh my gosh, that hits home run.
it.
Me and my husband talk about that all the time, and that's why we have gotten into what we're doing, and like you said, you're a serialpreneur. Like, we plan to do that as well, and our little ones, and we think the same way. We have the same mindset. People ask me all the time, "What keeps you going?" I'm like, "Well, A, you have to have the drive to want to keep going. You have to want more for yourself. You have to, want to challenge yourself. And then B, it is totally my kids and my family and my
Yes.
little sister and everyone after them. And oh my gosh, that really
Yeah.
hit home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many people will let their dreams die with them if they
Yes.
don't see you going for your dream. And so when you take that commitment to others as seriously as I do, and as most of us do as entrepreneurs, it's a the drive that we were born with, because we're born with a different type of makeup as an entrepreneur. I believe that. And that
Yes.
thing that we're born with, it never ever runs out. That's what's funny about us. It never runs out. We may run out, but it never runs out. So you have to know how to tap back in, and you have to know how to refill your cup and, get it back to where it's running over and you've got enough to serve all the things that and the people that you wish to serve. So
Yes, that's so true, guys. Hey, now Nodgela is really spinning some good information here, guys. Really, really pay attention and think about this if you haven't thought about it before. For those of you that are new, just coming in, or even seasoned, and you're like, I don't really have the drive to go anymore. You just got complacent. Go back to that place and find your why. It's really, really important for you to keep pushing, for
yeah,
sure.
and sometimes your why changes, and that's okay. That's something that I try and teach people, because sometimes you may feel that, well, I don't feel in alignment with my why anymore. Well, that's probably because the why has changed. And then
Right.
all you have to do is find the new why, and there's
Mhm.
enough inspiration. You've been built with enough in you to go with that next why, and then, relentlessly pursue those things. So I
Absolutely.
have a
All right.
gift though, Jasmine. I do have a gift for everyone who's going to come on the replay or whatever. And that's why I made that little mistake. I was trying to put it in the comments. But I have a free list building webinar and masterclass for anybody who wants to hop on that masterclass as a gift for being here on the broadcast and joining us today. So if you don't mind, I'd like to go on and put that in the comments.
Yes, please do. There you go, guys. I mean, now Nodgela is just awesome. She's really given us some great information today so that you can take back and utilize it with your business. And there you go, a free masterclass that you guys can take advantage of. And, those of you that are watching the replay, I would definitely take advantage of it and reach out to Nodgela if you have any questions, regarding what we have talked about today. So, well, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
And
Please
this
do.
master class, just to explain, guys, it gives it pretty simple. I think it's pretty obvious that I'm a plain Jane kind of girl, but it just breaks it down pretty simple. It talks about your email management systems. It goes into depth about opt-ins, lead pages, how to convert, and it tells more of an action plan that it takes to be able to actually build a list. And I call it building a list that you can love on. So you can go there and just really, really pour your heart into people. And they'll buy from you.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I think I'm going to join that masterclass as well. I have my own struggles with building my email list, so I think I'm going to take advantage of that too. That is awesome. So let's see. Ilana, I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name, but hello to you too. Thank you for joining in. We've talked about growing your Facebook community, some great tips for that. And then Nodgela just gave us some really, really awesome tips for building your email list. And she has gave us a free pass to her webinar, her masterclass about building email lists. So if that's an area that you need to work on, then feel free to join in. All
Alana
right,
says you
perfect.
pronounced her name right, Jasmine. Alana.
Oh, thank you. Okay. I didn't want to butcher it. I'm bad at that, so I'm glad.
Well, you tackled Nodgela, so I gotta say you're better than you ever thought you were.
Thank you. All right, guys. So we're coming to a close here. I have about two more questions for you, Nodgela. So what is one interesting fact about you? We are also curious. What's that one thing that just makes you just pow?
I kind of blew it because I told that I'm a fisherwoman. That's always a surprise to people. But I guess this is fact. You may think this is opinion, but the more you get to know me, you'll know this is fact. I am a delusional optimist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I am. I'm a delusional optimist. I'm super, super energetic almost all the time. And someone once called me a delusional optimist, and I think they meant to discredit me or to criticize me. And even with that criticism, being the delusional optimist that I really am, I took it as a compliment, and now I self-describe that way. So that's something
Yeah.
that's interesting about me. My superpower is clarity. I'm able to help entrepreneurs and people who maybe are stuck about what they should do in their business and what direction. I have a challenge. I'm able to help them get to a clarity point in 15 minutes or less.
That is amazing. There you go, guys. There's Nodgela Thompson. And do you have any last words for the audience before we head out of here for today?
I just want to say that if you find yourself stuck, if you find yourself being discouraged or just in self doubt about what it is that you should do, whether that's starting your business or maybe you're already a business owner and you just hit a bad spot, I just want to encourage people to reach deep within yourself and realize that there's nothing that isn't on purpose about where you are.
Yeah.
And try not to focus so much on what you can't do and focus on the little things that you can do. That's something I shared in my group today, which was we're really, really quick to condemn ourselves and punish ourselves when we have failures, but we're not as quick to celebrate small successes in our life. And so this is business or in life. Celebrate your small successes and then watch those turn into big wins, you know?
Yes. Oh my gosh, that is so amazing. I always, this is something that I've just adopted probably about 3 months ago. And what I always say is pat yourself on the back for the small wins. Same thing that you're
Yeah.
saying. Because if you don't do that, when you get the big wins, you have to keep yourself and keep pushing yourself. But when you do something great, it could be something as small as knocking all 5 tasks off your list for the day that you didn't even think you can get to. Pat yourself
Yeah.
on the back for that. You did that. You accomplished that. Way to go. So
Yeah.
that is very important that you said that. I totally agree.
I agree too, Jasmine. It's so funny. We tend to think that our big wins happen. It's funny because most of our big wins we've had a major obstacle, a setback, and a holdback, and then we get over the big hurdles, and then we forget about how many little wins we had to surmount to the big hurdle. So
Mhm.
just remember that in itself is a series of small wins culminating to your big
Absolutely.
win. Hey,
That
Alana.
is so
Hey.
true.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Katrina. Julie says delusional optimist, loving soul.
Yeah.
They are in my program, so they know I'm a delusional optimist.
Well, that is amazing. Well, Nodgela, I really, really want to thank you for coming on with us today. Gosh, guys, that was just a great episode with great information. Nodgela has provided a link in the comments for those of you that are coming in late. And you can head over to her webinar, her free webinar masterclass to take advantage of how to really build your email list. She's going to give you some great tips and tricks for that. And other than that, I hope you guys continue to have a productive week, a great rest of your Friday. Make this weekend count if you're putting in the hours, which most of us are.
We are.
And yeah. And continue to work hard the rest of this month. And remember to start setting your goals if you haven't already for the new year. We're already in October, about to hit November in just a couple of weeks. And that's all I have for you today, guys. So if you want to reach out to Nodgela, if you would leave your contact information in the comments where they can find you.
Doing it
And
now.
other than that, guys, we are signing off. And thank you so much for joining us today. Have a good rest of your day.
Bye bye, guys. Have a good weekend.